He was talking in the paper today about being quite obscure because of that man right there, Don Mattingly. So Mattingly making the play. He says, heck, they've got first basemen here like Mattingly and Murray and now McGuire. Obviously, in fact, I don't think O'Brien was listed among the top 8.
No, he's not. I mean,
in the All-Star vote.
Yeah, right. But they say, when they took a vote, they said he is probably the most underrated player in the American League.
Well, the Oakland Athletic team voted him as
just that team?
The A's did. Pete Incaviglia batting .267, 17 home runs, 50 runs batted in.
And 110 strikeouts. That's a lot of strikeouts for this time of year.
How many does Bo Jackson have? He's got over 100.
Yes.
Amazes me that people don't let Bo make his own decision about what he wants to do.
Isn't that something? He was very outspoken about it. He says, they're probably all jealous, wish they could do it.
I'd like to see whether or not he can be successful at doing it.
I think he is 1 in a million, maybe even more. I mean, he's just such a natural athlete. I believe he could do it. This guy hardly played baseball, right? He's in the big leagues.
Fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes on Incaviglia. Well, they wouldn't let him play his last year in college because he attended a mini camp of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he missed his last year at Georgia. Well, Auburn. Auburn. Completely missed that. Then played a bit at Memphis.
They got to change some of those rules, those NCAA rules.
Fouled. Well, the rules are the same. It just depends on whether they want to enforce them or not.
Yeah, but they should change them so that they don't have to enforce them.
Well, you can't get anywhere without rules now, Rizzuta.
I know, but
the problem is enforces them fairly with everybody. I don't think they're going to have a team down here in Texas one of these days.
That's right, football, you mean, yeah.
That breaking ball misses. 2-2. Everybody down here, I think, is on probation except Arkansas.
Just about, it.
Maybe Rice.
Yep.
Rice isn't on probation. Two and 2 on Incaviglia. He went to Oklahoma State. They're investigating them now. I read that in the paper today. Too high, ball 3, 3-2. No score here in the bottom of the second. 1 out, nobody on for Texas. I think the Royal fans are upset because Jackson's going to play with the Raiders. They don't like the Raiders.
That's right, too. Because they got a team there, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, they should have drafted him.
Well, everybody was afraid of wasting a draft choice.
Ball 4, Incaviglia walk. Second walk given up by Rasmussen. And that'll bring up the catcher, Mike Stanley. See where Kirk Gibson said he was approached to play football?
No kid. No, I didn't see him.
By Oakland, a week before they signed Jackson. See, we've got Gibson, who's played football. Rick Leach, who's played football. Bo Jackson. Phil Rizzuto, who's going to be a quarterback at Columbia. Almost caught him leaning toward second base.
He might have that hit and run on.
Could I ask a question? My daughter, they have a American Association. They work for 40 years. They buy a first truck. And they're fine now.
Breaking ball gets the corner, strike 1 on Mike Stanley. Rasmussen, as we look at Tim Foley, the third base coach, Dennis Rasmussen is a very, very deliberate pitcher. He takes his time. Sell a lot of hot dogs. Scorecards.
Right. The concession likes people like that. He had him leaning again a little bit.
The way Mattingly's playing, it'll be hard to pick him off because Don is playing a couple of feet in front of first base. He's right there.
Yep.
So he's got to run or take 2 steps back and then get the ball down. I don't think Mattingly thinks Incaviglia is going to run.
I don't get this at all.
What?
Number one, why is Mattingly playing that far up in front of the bag?
Playing catch with Rasmussen.
Come on, I mean.
Another breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-2 on Stanley. National League, Cincinnati leading the Mets 4-2 after 6. Giants have already beaten the Cubs. We mentioned that game. San Francisco 9, Cubs 2. San Diego edged St. Louis 4-3. Cardinals and the Yankees have more wins than any other team in the big leagues. They each have won now 57 games. Cardinals suffered their 32nd loss in San Diego. Montreal leading Atlanta 2-0 after 4.5. That breaking ball has popped up. Mattingly, can he get to it? Yes. In foul territory for out number 2. He can do that as well as any first baseman I've seen.
He really does not panic. And I was a little worried about that toppling because he didn't take even a flash down at it. But he's just to the right of it. You see him right there?
Excellent on pop-ups.
Oh.
Good range. So there are 2 outs. The runner still at first base. That's Incaviglia. Mattingly still playing a couple of feet in front of the bag, and that'll bring up Steve Buechele, the third baseman. A .224 hitter with 7 home runs and 29 runs batted in. No score in the second.
Can't believe all those throws to first base.
Actually, they wouldn't use Incaviglia to steal. They might use him on the hit and run. Ball 1. Although Incaviglia has stolen 8 bases this year, he's been caught a couple of times, so maybe they know what they're doing.
Okay.
Good changeup. 1-1. Breaking ball stays upstairs. It's 2 balls and a strike on Buechele. What is amazing me just a little bit, Scooter, is that a guy like this Buechele, as we look at Incaviglia moving off first base. Lifted in the left center. This will be caught. Henderson.
Oh,
he circled it, but finally made the catch. And that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits. A walk and a man left on base. After 2, the Yankees nothing, the Rangers nothing. Well, Bill White along with the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto, and we're joined by Billy Martin as Mark Casala stands in. This is catch by Henderson. I thought that was going to be an easy catch, Scooter, but it ended up a tough one.
Yep. And good thing he caught it, because Incaviglia would have scored easily. He was running.
They're trying to pull that ball sinking down and away. Nice ground ball for Pete O'Brien at first base, and Salas is the first out. 7 in a row now for Jose Guzman.
Well, Guzman's making those left-hand hitters reach for the ball, and they're going to have to either go the other way or get up on top of the plate where the ball's going to be inside to him.
Well, Bill and I were just talking, Billy, about so many of these hitters do not move. They get fooled every time on pitches outside, and they never move up in the box. Or
I've noticed that of late, Phil, the last couple of years. In the old time, I guess go back 10 more years ago, players used to move around the plate. Sinker balls, get up in front of the plate.
I remember when Bob Lemon used to pitch against us. Man, you had to get up there. You'd be hitting grounders all day.
And then he'd brush you back.
Yep.
And he would brush you back.
This is Paul Zuvella.
He's been playing well, really, doing the job at second base, getting some key hits. Hangs in there tough on a double play.
Oh, broken bat.
Oh, balanced throw, and he's safe at, oh, they call him safe at first base. They call him out at first base as Fletcher made a good off-balance throw, and nobody argues.
Boy, he does throw this off balance, doesn't he? Didn't get much on it.
No, that wasn't a very good play by Fletcher. I think he was safe on that play.
Well, there are 2 outs. We're talking about a couple of hitters. We're talking about Buechele. We're talking about that Jim Presley with Seattle.
Right.
Kids who are flat-out fastball hitters that don't make an adjustment at all for the breaking ball.
And that's the reason why he's hitting 224.
Yeah.
Wayne Tollison takes high, ball 1.
You know, Bill, it's a simple adjustment. It's just getting on top of the plate and keeping your left shoulder down in there where you're going to go with the ball. What he's trying to do, they're just jumping on a fastball attack.
And Tollison slaps a base hit to left field. We're also mentioning that if you've just come to the big leagues, obviously you've got to learn that, but these are guys who've been around here 2 or 3 years, and you'd think they'd make a bit of adjustment to be able to do better.
Well, you know, how many teams would Buechele be playing regular with a 224 batting average?
Not too many. By the way, that after 8 in a row, Tollison's the first Yankee to get on base.
You've got that right. First base hit. And here's Ricky Henderson, who's been up once and grounded to third. The Tigers have taken a 7-6 lead over Seattle now, and the Tigers are batting in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
Must be a few balls jumping out of that ballpark tonight.
Minnesota's taken a 2-1 lead over Toronto, and the Twins are batting in the bottom of the 3rd. Ball 1 to Henderson.
It's like we've been saying all year, Bill, if Toronto ever comes up with a key injury, they're going to be in trouble.
They're a bit shallow.
Yep.
Can't afford to lose one of those outfielders.
And so is Detroit. And we've had enough injuries to hold us for a lifetime. Remember the old days when you used to count them every day?
Yeah.
223.
2 outs. Tollison at first base. No score in the 3rd. Top half of the 3rd inning. That's the ball. 2-0 on Henderson.
You know, Bill, I don't think Phil Reed told you the truth about his nose.
Oh, you can.
No, he was training falcons, you know, with his wristband, and it landed on his nose. That's got the nose.
Well,
The
we
perfect
probably ought
perch.
to set something straight. That's the NY emblem on his nose. Some people might have mistaken that for something else.
That's right.
It could be
Thank
called the perfect perch.
That's inside. 3 balls, no strikes on Henderson. Guzman in danger of walking his first Yankee batter. He has struck out one, given up a single through 2 2/3 innings. And ball 4, Henderson walks. So that'll move Tollison down to second base, Henderson on at first. And with 2 outs, we'll get Gary Ward.
I like to see the catcher walk out there like that and calm the pitcher down, talk to him out. Now, you walked him, forget about it, let's work on the next hitter. Now, here's what we have to do. Let's get back to work again.
And Ward has been up once, and he chased Brower deep into center field to make the catch back in the 1st inning. Breaking ball for strike.
I don't know where that pitch was, do you, Bill?
High breaking ball, isn't it?
There it is again. I'd question whether that was a strike.
That's a ball, 1-1. Gary Ward, he has 10 home runs and 61 runs batted in.
Looks like Detroit jumped up they have 9 runs now, Bill. 9-6 in the 4th inning.
At one point, they were down 6-1 in the 3rd. Ward takes a good breaking ball for strike.
That was a good pitch
Yes.
right there.
Fooled him.
First, now I think Gary's going to have to get on the plate also. There it is, 9-6.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Ward. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, no score in the third. They'll go to second and not in. Oh my goodness, it is in time. Oh, and that'll retire the side. Call down there made by second base umpire Darrell Cousins. No runs, a base hit. 2 men left on base. At the end of 2.5 innings of play, the Yankees nothing, the Rangers nothing. Bottom of the third, no score. Jerry Brown leads off against Rasmussen. That's going to be trouble, and it might go to the wall. Nope, Claudel cuts it off, but Brown trying for 2, and he'll make it. Good hustle by Jerry Brown.
The young man looks like a first ball fastball hitter, and he got the ball up out of the plate and drilled to left center. Got good speed.
It's tough for a left-hander to turn around. He wastes about 3 steps there and having to throw back. But he's got good speed, that kid.
That's good base running. When the outfielder catches the ball on his glove side, to always take that extra base.
Yep.
So Jerry Brown leads off with a double. Nobody out. That'll bring up Bob Brower.
You know, I heard Bobby Valentine on the air saying that managers are getting away from the bunt altogether. Can you believe that?
He is.
He said managers. I couldn't believe it.
No, I think he should be just speaking for Bobby Valentine.
He should, right.
Last night, he was 6 runs down. He had a hitter hitting 3-0.
I remember, and the Yankees bunted twice and did a great job.
He also said in the paper today that they should have won the game last night, and maybe we're watching a different game.
You can...
This is Brower taking the
did
ball.
He really?
Yes.
He's been up once, fly to center.
Of course, he could have got misquoted. You understand that.
Minnesota now leading Toronto 3-1 after 3. They try for the bunt, and great play by Tolleson. That ball was going into center field, although Claudel Washington was backing up. But Tolleson made an excellent play.
Well, what a great play. I don't know how he got it, Bill, because he is going towards second, Billy, and then has to fall back the other way. Look at this.
Well, this is a good lesson for every young kid out there who wants to be a baseball player. You go to the ball. No matter where the ball goes, you go to it.
Right.
This was great instinct.
Not give up.
That's exactly
right.
right.
Great point. Yes, sir.
And the center fielder, Washington, was backing up just in case that ball might have gotten past Tolleson.
And if the ball's thrown over your head, it accidentally fall down on the runner, just to hold it there. You can't touch it with your hands, right, Phil? Just
right.
Lay there very politely.
No balls, 2 strikes on Brower. Nobody out.
I think this young man right here has a good future ahead of him.
Brower?
If he gets to play regular, yes.
Oh.
And he's going to steal third. Brown steals third base. Rasmussen, that's when that slow movement really hurts you. Rasmussen very deliberate in his movements.
Now, he could have thrown the third there. But he elected to go to second, and
good base run.
Look at that heads-up play, and I think a good throw would have gotten him. Yep, it would have.
He was in there. Good base running.
Oh, the Rangers now have to go ahead run at third base with nobody out, and the Yankees will keep their infield back except for Palirulo and Mattingly. Tolleson and Zavella will play back. They will allow a ground ball to score a runner. Still no balls, 2 strikes on Brower. And a base hit for Brower. Rangers lead 1-0. So Bob Brower coming through with a no ball, 2 strike count.
Was that a breaking ball, Bill?
Didn't see it.
Slider?
Didn't see that one.
I think it might have been a slider. Down, out over the plate.
Here's Scott Fletcher. Now Salas will talk with Rasmussen.
Funny, I just said Valentine disdaining the bunt, and he had the Brower tried to bunt and bunted right through it.
Well, obviously now they're going to try a hit and run or something at some point here, just to try to keep the momentum going. Fletcher can handle the bat well. He walked in the first inning.
He started and stopped and turned around and headed back to first.
Curveball missed, ball one. Well, the Yankees get Charles Hudson up in the bullpen.
Why is it so hard for certain pitchers not to be able to rush their pitch?
Because you're 6'8" and your movements are slow.
Creatures of habit.
All right, okay, I just asked.
There's a strike, 1-1.
They're so used to doing it one-way, Phil, that it's just a habit with them. They just can't get out of that habit. And even though you try to teach them in spring training with the quick step to throw to the plate, once they get on that mound, that adrenaline's going, they forget about it. This is a good hit and run count, 1-1.
There's Hudson.
Yeah, this Fletcher, you mentioned it last night. That foot, he times everything with that lifting of the leg.
That left foot is.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike on Fletcher.
We already mentioned Charles Hudson out in the bullpen.
1-0 Rangers. We're in the bottom half of the third here. Leadoff double by Jerry Brown, a hustling double by Brown. Then he stole third base. And Bob Brower singled up the middle for his 19th run batted in this year.
We haven't seen much of Hudson lately.
Brower was leaning, so something might be on.
Well, to be quite honest, the only way Rasmussen is going to pick you off is if you really just decide to cheat and start running, because the motion is so deliberate. Line base hit left field. Brower will be waved home. He'll score. And Fletcher will hold at second base with a double, and the Rangers now lead 2-0.
Well, Brower was running on the play.
Yep.
And Fletcher came through with a line drive, and that creates an inning for you.
I'll tell you, I noticed last night that there's the jump and the ball hit by Pags. He does play very wide of that bag. And with a left-hand pitcher out there, and late in the ball game, he still doesn't move way over to that line.
Well, Fletcher being a spray hitter, I guess they feel that they're going to try to pitch him away and have him go away. But when you're throwing the batter breaking balls, you cannot give the line upfield, just like you're saying.
Ruben Sierra struck out in the first inning. Golf that breaking ball foul.
That's a poor hitting job up there right now. We should be trying to go to right field with the ball, and smart pitching by Rasmussen, throwing a breaking ball inside and trying to make him pull the ball.
Yeah, that's a good shot of the defense. Pags even with the bag.
Fletcher can steal third too. For 1-1, there's Fletcher.
Here's where that sinker ball always comes into play real good for pitchers. If they just turn the ball over, make that hitter hit a nice ground ball to shortstop.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
And Zavella runs him down after he's picked off by Rasmussen, and there's one down. That was just a simple 1-3 put out. 1-4.
He did that very well that time. That's what I thought he was going to do the last time when Brown got that big jump.
Well, that's not very smart play by Fletcher, really. You got a little momentum going. He's scored a couple of runs. You got the Yankees on the ropes, and then you pull a no-brainer.
Right, and that is a big play for the Yankees because they won more stolen base there, and man, they'd have been in serious trouble.
One down, count 1-1 here on Sierra. That change is low. 2 balls and a strike. Rangers 2, Yankees nothing here in the third. Minnesota and Toronto are not tied 3-3 in the fourth, and the Blue Jays still batting. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Sierra. That's foul off third, played by Foley. We need to make those plays when he played.
He's a lot smoother as a coach.
Tim's been with the Yankees. Pittsburgh, California.
Took him a long time to get his temper under control. Man.
Montreal, Mets even. Did he play with the Mets a year?
Yes, he did.
Breaking ball is foul again to Foley at third base. Count remains 2-2.
Good thing you don't have a temper, Phil. You'd have killed that door that ran into you. What a place to put a door. That's ridiculous.
And he golfed that one foul down the right side.
That would have hit him right in the inside part of his leg, I think.
Well, obviously looking up for the breaking ball now. Last time he did this, Rasmussen stuck a fastball past him out on the outside corner.
Who would ever think they'd put that door right there? I just can't believe it.
So Sierra making the adjustment here on the breaking ball. Now he rips this one to left center, and that's going to go through the base hit. And he's going to try for 3. And he'll make it at third base. A triple for Ruben Sierra.
Wow, double, single, double, triple.
He was sitting on that off-speed stuff, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He was right on it. I think Foley got hurt over there.
Lou Piniella walking out. That might be all for Rasmussen. Larry Parrish is the new batter. And Lou has already made the sign. He wants Charles Hudson to come on, as the Rangers have scored twice. They have a runner at third with just 2 down here in the bottom of the third. So while the pitching change is being made, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message.
There's a lot of wild stories going round about Ricky Henderson. About some secret weapon he's supposed to have. Helps him steal a base faster than any man alive. But you don't believe everything you hear, now do you? Yankee Baseball on Channel 11.
Same time tomorrow, Coach?
Be there as legends are born.
So Rasmussen leads with the runner at third, 1 down here in the top of the third, with the Rangers leading by a score of 2-0. And Charles Hudson comes on. He's making his 18th appearance for the Yankees. It's his 6th relief appearance. He's won 7 games, lost 2. Went down to Columbus and came back as a long reliever. He's in there now facing Larry Parrish. And they're saying that Sierra missed second base. I'm not sure any. Now the first base umpire, Jim Evans, says he saw it. With the, so he said he did touch up there. So the appeal goes by the boards. And Hudson will have to deal with Larry Parrish, who struck out in the first inning.
Now they got the infield in now, Bill.
All right, that's my kind of play.
This is the right thing to do. You don't want to give him that third run.
Strike 1 on Parrish.
Parrish is a first ball fastball hitter. Likes a fastball up out over the plate. He will chase the curveball down the dirt, and you can intimidate him every once in a while. If you have the pitcher that will do it.
We know last time Rasmussen probably pitched better to Parrish than anybody. busted him inside with a couple that he wasn't looking for.
He likes to extend them arms.
Mm-hmm.
Strike two, no balls, 2 strikes on Parrish. 20 home runs, 61 runs batted in this year.
That's a spot right there, Bill, up in. Now I'd go up in a little higher, like maybe, you know, not under the chin, but under the elbows.
What's wrong with the chin?
Right by the chin. Good pitch.
That's foul. That's a foul ball. Bounced off. No, he called it fair.
Fair. Oh.
I don't know why he would want to throw the ball. He had Parrish at
All
home
he had
plate.
to do was tag him. He could have thrown it in the right field. It didn't, unless it hit him in the foot.
Well, now they're going to check the ball to see if there's any shoe polish on it. But the shoes aren't shined anymore.
And
so he's
no
gonna
mark
be out.
on it. He's out.
That's those patent leather shoes.
Palarulo evidently did not see Perry standing at home plate. He throws this ball off balance. No, he had to see him looking in there. He didn't have to. And luckily, he did not throw the ball away. Mattingly made the scoop for the second out. And Parrish is still complaining with home plate umpire Ted Hendry.
And now Valentine's going to go out and argue with the third base umpire.
Well, you can get some help from your teammates by yelling no play to Pags, you know, letting them know, because he's just looking at the ball. His head's down. He's got to catch that short hopper. The catcher or the pitcher could have been yelling no play.
Nobody says anything anymore.
Nobody said, well, they got to talk to each other. That's part of the game. It used to be, Bill, anyway. Valentine's talking out there.
Remember that perfume you smelled last night, White?
Yeah.
It's in the booth tonight. It came up from the stands.
There's Spinelli. He was the benefit of a call here. He lost a couple of close calls at the top of this inning when Zavella was called out at first base and Henderson forced it second on a ball to short. So he gets a break here now. That's the second out, and Parrish is on the bench, and O'Brien's a batter.
Well, I'd be concerned about how you pitch this man. He's a first ball fastball hitter. You got first base open, and you got a wild swinger coming up next, so I don't think I'd give in to him too much.
Yeah, Parrish, he is hot.
He's mad, too.
Mad and hot, huh?
What?
That's a ball away from O'Brien.
He's sharp tonight, that Martin, you know. Yeah, what are you going to do, Billy? Now, his best pitch is a fastball, right?
Just make it bad, Phil. Make it hope he chases a bad one.
Okay.
There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
I'd like to see the catcher go out and remind him, though, hey, make it bad. We don't want to give in to this guy. We have a free swinger coming up next that you can punch out.
Right.
Paul Zavella makes a play, and that'll retire the side. But the Rangers pick up 2 runs on 4 hits. They leave 1 man on base at the end of 3. The Rangers 2 on the Pepsi scoreboard. The Rangers 2, the Yankees nothing. Two nothing Rangers. The Yankees quite fortunate, I think, Scooter and Billy, to get out of that inning by giving up just the 2 runs, and Hudson coming on and getting that good call on Parrish and getting O'Brien on an excellent play by Zavella. So we start the 4th here, and here's the Scooter.
All right, and Don Mattingly will lead it off. Don bounced out to first base his first time up. And remember, he's looking for his 8th consecutive game, hitting a home run, takes the ball.
You know, that Savella play might be the play that breaks the Rangers back tonight. I think that was the best play I've seen all year.
That was a dandy, I tell you. That base hit all the way, ball 2 to Mattingly. So it's just 2-0. That could have been some big inning for the Rangers. They had 4 consecutive base hits, 2 doubles. Hey, did he get all of it? Did he? Holy cow, he did it! Holy cow, Mattingly is unbelievable. The opposite field. Holy cow.
And the fans are giving him a standing ovation.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
unbelievable.
Look at the Ranger fans.
Look at those great fans. Isn't that good? I'm very proud of them. That's outstanding.
Don Mattingly has just tied a record set back in 1956 by the Pirates' Dale Long. A home run in 8 consecutive games.
I mean, he is unbelievable.
Went
Opposite
the other way
field.
with it. Well, you were saying earlier, Phil, that they have to go that way with the ball away.
Right, because they all, even Dunn tried to pull the first time up. Deep to center field.
That's
Did
trouble.
he get all of that?
That's trouble.
Holy cow, 2 in a row. Mattingly starts things, and he gets the whole crowd. Now, Mattingly and Claudel Washington. So, fans, you know what happens every time a Yankee hits a home run? Hey, Don Washington, this bud's for you.
Don Washington, all right.
I mean,
Well, that's
that
nice.
sounds good. Leave it like it is.
That's for Don and for Washington.
That's exactly
okay.
right.
For Don
See, that
Mattingly
was
and
quick
Claudel
thinking, right?
Washington, it's Don Washington.
You know, Phil, you are tricky.
I didn't mean to be.
By
but
the
it
way, that's the 17th and 18th home runs given up by Guzman in now 103 innings. So he's thrown some long balls, as has Dennis Rasmus.
Man, did they tie that game up in a hurry. 2 pitches, 2 runs.
Well, Claudel's known as a first ball fastball hitter, and he got the pitch, and he hit that ball well, about 410 feet out there.
Well, I tell you, this guy's got excellent control. He's walked only 1 man. He doesn't walk more than 2 a game. So they're going to start jumping on his fastball. Mike Eastland, the batter. Mike hit back to the box his first time up. A brand new ball game. There they are, the 2 home run hitters. Man. Still right one. Look at Manning.
Look at the new haircut he's got.
Yeah, he did. We were talking about that before.
Didn't lose his power.
Like Samson, huh? That's right. Oh, man, that hit him hard. Ooh. I wonder if he turned. A lot of catchers turn their head or hits him on the side of the face.
What do they call that, the equipment they have on, the tools of ignorance?
Yes, sir. Let's see if he turns his head.
Oh, he got it on the elbow and the jaw.
Yep, on the arm. It came right up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2.
That's a tough job catching, I'll tell you. You got to take your hat off to him.
They have marks all over their body, and they never go away. And there's one. Oh, how do you like that? They got him.
He's going to have a mark in his leg.
Yep. He didn't even try. I think he tried to get out of the way, and he says, don't come out and look at me. He said, I'm all right.
It's a good move on the part of Guzman finding this ball after hitting him on the leg.
Yep.
And he watched the ball all the way.
All right, 1 away. Now Mike Pagliarulo. Pags bounced out to first base his first time up. 2-2 ball game. And he tried to pull that fastball tailing away.
Again, like we were talking earlier, the secret of good hitters are going with the pitch. The ball's away from you, go the other way. Have a little patience. The ball's inside, then drive it.
Right. But look at Mattingly went to left. Claudel went to center. That hit the outside corner. 0-2. So the Mattingly watch will be on again tomorrow night. He bounces this foul.
We'll see. He'll have Greg Harris, another right-hander, out there tomorrow. Steve Chopp will make his first start as a Yankee tomorrow.
And knowing what a class guy Dale Long is, I wouldn't be surprised he got a wire from him tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
He might be watching this game up around the Albany area.
Oh, that's right. High. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Pags has homered in 4 of his last 7 games. He's just out in front. He's taken a little bit off.
Bill can't say anything right now, Phil.
They went with the pitch, and that could be a double for Pags. He's around first, going for second. Good throw, but he's in there. Holy cow, was that a pretty play? That was a bang-bang play. Great throw by Incaviglia out there in left field.
Pags went the other way. He must have heard you, Scooter.
Yep.
Incaviglia has an excellent arm. You know, they were worried about this guy's defense when he came here. They said he couldn't catch the ball and couldn't throw it. But he's played adequate defense. In fact, he's played excellent defense in the games we've seen him.
Looked like Pags was going to get in easily, but what a throw, and very close.
Tagged him on the shoulder.
Yep. All right, here's Salas, who bounced to first base. One man out. And he hit it off the end of the bat, and that'll go in the seats out of play. Salas has got to wait just a little bit, too. He bounced out to first, trying to pull an outside pitch.
Well, he has a tendency to try to pull the ball too much, Phil. They're trying to work with him a little more to go the other way and through the box, but they're having a hard time with him right at this time. He's kind of set in his ways a little bit, but he might come around.
Oh, man, he had the third baseman deep. He was going to lay one down. Not a bad play.
He's got the whole left side of the infield playing him to pull.
Well, I don't know if it's a good play either, Phil. With the next two hitters coming up, you'd like to have a hitter like this to try to drive the run in.
Double play. Beautifully executed. That's O'Brien. 3-3-6 double play, but the Yankees pick up 2 runs on 3 hits, nobody left, and at the end of 3.5, Yankees 2 and the Rangers 2. I'm going to take another look at that double play that ended the top of this inning. He hits it right on the nose.
He got all of it.
Bullet, but O'Brien doesn't waste any time. Perfect throw to the shortstop covering.
He's a smooth fielder.
Yep.
It's one of the better ones in the league. And Detroit is ahead of Seattle 10-6 now in the 6th inning.
Unbelievable. Toronto and Minnesota still tied 3-3 in the 5th.
White Sox are creaming Cleveland 6-3 going in the 8th. Change of managers didn't help.
Well, he won his first game. Doc hit for.
They always do when he first take over.
Baltimore beat Kansas City 11-7. Red Sox beat Oakland 5-3. Milwaukee leads California 3-2 in the 5th. All right, here's Incaviglia. Walked his first time up. Ooh, that was a good pitch. Ball 1.
What's his average? Doesn't say.
Breaking ball a little low. 2-0. National League, the San Diego beat St. Louis 4-3. Giants beat the Cubs 9-2, and Cincinnati leading the Mets 5-2 in the 8th. Foul back. He swings hard at every pitch. He does not get cheated.
He's strong. Strong young man.
Montreal leads Atlanta 2-0 in the 8th, and Phillies lead Houston 2-0 in the 4th. Here it's the Yankees 2 and the Rangers 2. Popped it up. And they got to hustle. Can't give up on this one. Long run for Ward, and he catches it on the dead run, one-handed, one away.
You had to keep going and staying on that ball, Phil. It's like playing in San Francisco here today with this wind.
You're right. If you just hesitate a little bit, you're not going to catch up to it. There's another shot of it. And now Mike Stanley, who popped up to Mattingly his first time up.
Well, this could be a big game for Charlie Hudson.
Oh, yes. He was doing so well.
He can get about 4 or 5 good innings in here.
Get his confidence back up again, Bill. I think you're right.
Well, everybody wondered why he was sent down. Ball 1 to Stanley.
Well, I think the reason was, Phil, that he wasn't doing the job as a starter. Although he did a good job in relief, I guess that last game in Boston he pitched, but
no, they were going by his record. He was 7-2, a pretty good earned run average, 1-1 the count.
He looks a little more with it here in the last couple of outings. He seemed to be a little lethargic the last.
A little more aggressive, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he even came out his first warm-up pitch. He bounced around on the mound. I like to see that. Whoop. Started to put the right hand up, pulled it back. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 the score. Mattingly, if you tuned in late, has hit his homer to tie a major league record high. 3-1. There's Don Mattingly.
Who took care of any problem?
The Hoosier from Indiana. They're Hoosiers, right? White?
That's what they are.
No, will not make it.
They'll be too
Be
short.
foul.
It
It'll be
will not
foul.
make it. Look at that wind. Did he get it?
No, but a fan interfered.
He's out. He's out. Oh, he caught the ball anyway. I'm sorry.
Oh, the umpire was going to call him out. You're right, Phil. The umpire would have called him out
that,
anyway.
that guy, that fan, I thought he interfered with Ricky. Look at Ricky. Oh, he didn't interfere with him.
Where was that?
That was
there
a
is some-
reverse snatch catch there.
A ratch.
Right, yeah, that's good. All right, here's Buechele. He was robbed on a diving catch by Ricky Henderson. Strike 1.
Fullerton, California. Hey.
Boy, they always come up with a good baseball team.
Oh, yeah, they always have a lot of good players. from
Salas
California.
got creamed again with a foul.
I think that got the umpire, Hendry.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, Hendry got hit that time. Salas was smart enough to get out of the way.
Nothing in 2, the count.
Wake up.
I guess you've seen that happen a few times, where the catcher ducks the ball so the umpire gets it.
Struck him out. Couldn't hold up there. Look at Hudson. That's what I like. So 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 4, the Yankees 2 and the Rangers 2, and we are now going to pause for station identification. All right, Paul Zavella will lead it off for the Yankees. A 2-2 ball game in the top of the 5th. Zavella bounced to short his first time up. And he has been filling in for the Yankee co-captain Willie Randolph, while Willie, unfortunately, enjoying the best year of his major league career. Had an operation on his knee. Be out for at least a month. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Well, look at there.
I don't believe. Oh. I don't believe it. 1-1. Oh, he reached for that one, fouled it back. Jose Guzman on the mound. He's only given up 4 hits, but 2 of them home runs, one by Mattingly, one by Claudell Washington. Double by Pags and a single by Tolleson. Struck him out. Couldn't check the swing. You know, Piniella showed me something, White. He didn't let this game get out of hand. It didn't look like Rasmussen had it.
Got him right out of there.
Yep. But that could have been a big, big inning.
Well, Rasmussen had a chance to get out of it himself and
Right.
didn't.
Right.
So Lou just simply said, I've seen enough.
There he is.
Got that big play on Fletcher where he caught him trying to steal third, and if he'd cinched it up a bit, he could have gotten out of the inning.
Absolutely. All right, Tolleson got the first base hit of the ball game after Guzman had retired 8 in a row, and he takes a strike down around the ankles. Going to drag a bunt, but the curve broke low. 1-1. It's cooled off. It's 91 degrees now, White. You know, I could not, no way that I could live in either Florida or Texas.
You ever hear of air conditioning?
Yep. Oh, up the middle, another base hit. Another one he took right off his shoe tops. Tolleson, too. Yes, but what I mean is, you've got, if the air conditioning ever went on to blink, that's it, sayonara. Forget it. Look at that, 91. says official time, but the official time is below and the temperature is above. There it is, official. Hey!
Official time slow by about 4 minutes.
Yep.
Even the watch is hot.
But 91 degrees. Ricky Henderson. Good breaking pitch. He has bounced to third and walked. Yankees continue to win, and Ricky has not been able to be the threat he had been early in the year. And a bounce to the short. They're going to get 2 on this one. Yep. They handled that ball like a hot potato, made a double play. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. And at the end of 4 1/2, the Yankees 2 and the Rangers 2.
Hey, Whitey, remember all the times we missed curfew?
Yeah, Billy. I guess we did miss a few bed shakes, didn't we?
Well, we missed them, and I got blamed for them.
Well, you had to watch. I was just a poor city boy from New York, and I didn't even have a watch.
Yeah, right, Whitey. Now you know why they call him Slick.
Chiquita Banana presents Yankee Watch Day, August 1st at 2:20 against the Detroit Tigers. All fans will receive a Yankee watch, compliments of Chiquita Banana.
Yankee baseball,
where traditions are born.
Well, Jerry Brown lead off for the Rangers here in the 5th, and this is a kid who doubled and stole third that got the Rangers their first run, Scooter.
All right, he's an exciting ball player. Switch hitter.
You got to pitch him inside.
Yep.
Don't let him slap that ball around. Make him pull it. Make him swing the bat. That's where he likes it, out there. All he's got to do is lay the bat on it.
Strike one. He doubled, stole third. Good slider that time, 0-2.
On this pitch, we saw Roden back him off the plate and then strike him out inside.
Right. Hi, boy, he was leaning right into that one, looking for the pitch away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just missed, 2-2. Good fastball, but he fouled it off. Another foul tip. Two balls, 2 strikes. Look at Hudson. You're right, Bill. He is much more aggressive out there and lively.
Yeah.
Before he was just lackadaisical.
Other 2 times out, he acted like perhaps he would rather be someplace else.
Yeah. Somebody had to talk with him. Oh, man, he just missed with that one. 3-2. Just missed again, so he lost him trying to hit that outside corner.
You know, you get a little guy like that batting ninth that can't hit the home runs. There's no sense playing around with him trying to hit corner here. Just rear back him, throw that fastball inside, and make him swing the bat.
Right.
You're wasting your time trying to nick the corner here. If you want to do that with some of the big hitters like Parrish or O'Brien or Incaviglia. But the little ticky hitters, you got to go at them.
Right. All right, here is Bob Brower, who has fly to center, singled to right center, and drove in a run and also scored. Now, Brown, as we told, is very fast, but he has not mastered the art of stealing bases, White. He has stolen 13 and been caught 11 times. And Hudson's keeping him close. Now, Hudson not quite as slow as Rasmussen delivering the ball to the plate.
Nobody's as slow as Rasmussen.
No, that's right.
Delivering the ball to the plate.
You're right. And it's tough on the catcher and the infielders. And he just did get back. Good quick move that time by Hudson. They're trying to get a wave started here, but it is weak. Nothing the count. Nobody out. On a tie ball game, 2-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch out, but he was not going. Quick turn, but he just lobbed the ball to first base. He's got Brown thinking anyway.
Yeah, he's thinking about stealing.
I know that. If you can just cut him down one step, they might be able to get him. Couldn't check his swing. Throw to first. They got him. Oh, no, he said no. What a good quick throw by Salas, Bill.
He threw the ball quickly. That time he was on the money.
Uh-huh.
Mattingly looking at Jim Evans, the first base umpire. Nah, he got around.
Yeah,
too late.
And
too
his
late.
glove hit the ground and bounced. Yep. All right, 1-1. So Brown is going to have to cut his lead down a little bit or make up his mind and gamble. And that foul is out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Mark Salas. Barbara. No reason to look down for a sign now. You got to protect the plate when you got 2 strikes on you. Brown leading away. That must be throw to first base, right? You see that sign?
I don't know. I didn't see Salas sign.
Yeah, he put his hand back and forth.
Well, he's watching Pinella, so maybe Lou's telling him when to throw over there, when to at least make Hudson
They
throw
did
over
it again. Let's see if he throws over there again. Nope. Foul tip.
Must be a slider.
Must be. What? Oh, yeah, there's Lou giving signs. Why would a manager take it on him? He's got enough to worry about, right? Without calling pitches and.
Well, maybe he's at a certain point he wants to call a pitch out. I'm not sure that that was a certain pitch call there. It's probably worth a pitch out or not.
All right. He throws over to first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. There goes Brown, and a base hit to right field. Couldn't have hit it more perfect. Right off the handle, a little soft fly ball in the shallow right, and it's 1st and 3rd. Boy, and he tried to go that way. That was good hitting in back of the runner there. 1st and 3rd, nobody out, in the tough Scott Fletcher, the batter. He has walked and doubled. He's driven in a run. Still nobody out. Strike one. At third base, Jerry Brown, and he's got a lot of speed. At first is Bob Brower. Fletcher's a good hit and run man, tough man to strike out. Yankee defense, big hole between first and second. You see Mattingly holding him on. Ooh, pitch out, 1-1.
It's close to being a strike, though. Salas moving out there quickly like that. Had Fletcher swung the bat, might have gotten a catcher interference. Hudson not getting that pitch out far enough away from the plate.
All right, that's the second one that it wasn't too far up. Saw a shot of the defense outfield just about straight away. Good slider there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So he needs a strikeout. Another pitch just like this. Boy, that was a dandy. Boy, I really went down. Or a line drive double play like the Rangers got against the Yankees. They're due for one of them, White. Struck him out. Ho, ho. He had a little extra mustard on that one.
Well, he just rears back here and just turns a good fastball loose. Ball didn't move that much. He just threw it past Fletcher.
You're right. I'd like to see him throw that more.
I'd like to see him come inside more.
Right.
I'm not sure that a good pitcher can ever continue to allow hitters to swing that hard at him. That Brower just kept in there. He knew the ball was going to be around the plate, stayed in there and looped that ball to right field on the hit and run. Well, you can't allow hitters to do that. They can do anything they want. They take charge. As a pitcher, you should take charge.
All right. Good advice. Let's see if he gets the tough Ruben Sierra, who has struck out in triple.
This is going to be a problem because Hudson's a fastball pitcher and Sierra's a fastball hitter.
Ooh, just missed, ball 1.
And it'll be tough to double up Sierra. Should he hit the ball on the ground?
Two balls, no strikes.
Hudson was going to be in trouble. The kid hits the fastball, hits the wall. He got behind 2 balls, no strikes, and here's that fastball right there. And see you later.
Ooh, that went 2/3 of the way up in the bleachers.
Well, it's too late now.
Yeah, came inside. You're right.
That's a little bit late for that.
All right, ball 1. Parrish has struck out, bounced to third. Foul back 1-1. Whew, that was a monster home run.
Veteran pitcher gets a hitter in that position. He'll either throw it in the breaking ball and take a little bit off the fastball, give him the good motion, take a little off, and you got him out front.
Well, Sierra really guessed on that, looking for it. High and tight, 2-1. One man out. He got the tough Fletcher on a strikeout. He couldn't get by Sierra. So Sierra now with a triple and a homer. The two toughest hits to get when you're hitting for the cycle. 3-1. He asked for an appeal, but he did not swing. That'll be back out of play. The wind will take that back in the stands.
I think here Salas might have.
Oh, yeah.
He stuck his hand in the fence
Look
there.
at it. Ooh, boy. Thumb. Wow. They get somebody on, they'll test him right away.
Not Parrish, though.
No, no.
You want to have designated runners. You like designated. Why can't you have designated runners?
They almost had that out in Oakland, remember? Except it wasn't a designated runner, but Charlie Finley had that.
Washington.
Yeah.
Kid that I think was a track star at Michigan State.
Right, right.
But now you like this, all this tinkering with the game. Why can't you have a designated runner?
Well, they could, but then that, well, you know what that would lead to, like football, defensive alignment.
That's where we're going next.
You serious?
Sure.
Then forget it. Then it'd be time for me to pack it in. He struck him out. He couldn't check it. So Parrish could not hold up.
What's wrong with an offensive team and a defensive team? Get a team out there score a lot of runs. The other team try to keep from scoring.
That's not a bad idea. Now that you
Glad you like that idea.
Too many managers use that computer now. They don't study the ball player. Before, when you were a manager, you had to be sort of a psychology major or a psychiatrist and father confessor and everything. But now they push the button on the computer and say, oh, that kid's got to go to the minors. 1-1 on O'Brien, who has bounced to first and bounced to second. Yankees trail 5-2. And a broken bat, fly ball, but Ward's going to get it. And but they pick up 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 5, it's the Rangers 5 and the Yankees 2. All right, the Yankees now trailing by 3 as we go into the top of the 6th. And it'll be Gary Ward, Don Mattingly, and Claudel Washington. Mattingly and Washington accounted for the Yankee 2 runs with back-to-back homers. Gary Ward just missed a homer his first time up with a fly ball to deep center. So Guzman out on the mound. Ball 1. Ball going down and in. We just got word that Dale Long called WPIX back in New York to send congratulations to Don Mattingly.
Very good.
And you were right. He lives near Albany. There's a line drive to right, but right there is Sierra. Makes the catch. 1 man out. So he is co-holder with this man right here, Don Mattingly, for hitting home runs in 8 consecutive ball games. Mattingly has bounced to first and homered over the left field fence.
Little discussion here now between Mike Stanley and the pitcher Guzman. They're saying, what are we going to do with this fella now? We pitched him away at the home run left field. We're going to try to come in on him or what? And that's what being able to hit to all fields does. It takes a pitcher out of his normal method of pitching.
Right. Throws him off, gets his ball one. Whoa! Strike one. As a defense, it's tough to defense Mattingly. Low and inside, 1-1. He uses the whole field. Foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You're going to see Don.
He wants to be quick down and in.
Yep. Because it looks like now that maybe that's what they talked about, giving a lot of off-speed braking.
Let's try to throw it down and in. Of course, he can golf that ball into the seats and right down and in.
There
right
it was.
There,
again.
same thing. Yep.
2-2.
The thing is, when you get a pitch, if you can take his best pitch away from him,
right,
then he's got to come and get you with his secondary pitches or pitch.
Look at that. It's unbelievable. Another base hit for Mattingly. It is just tough. He'd drive those pitches bananas.
Tied the Major League record tonight.
Took a little inside out. Balls down. Went the other way. Just out of reach of Scott Fletcher. Mattingly, of course, with that home run, in addition to tying Dale Long's record, extended his hitting streak to 9 straight games.
Right.
He ought to be around 340 now also.
Oh, easily. Claudel, who homered his last time up, struck out his first time up, takes the ball. By the way, Mattingly's homer in the 4th was his 100th base hit of the year, so the single was the 101st. That's outside, 2-0.
Now Valentine is coming out. He just got a left-hander up and throwing. Mitch Williams has just gotten up, so Valentine here will give Williams a bit more time to get loose. Yankees loading up down here with Eastler and Palirulo and Salas, 3 left-handed hitters after Claudel Washington. So Valentine wants to get his lefty at least ready, so he'll be available should Guzman not do the job here.
All right. So Bobby Valentine goes back, the restaurateur man, the Toots Shore of Texas. Old Toots, he was really a character. Great man. Speaking of base hits, Boggs has got 128. Bouncer right at O'Brien. They got 1, they got 2. Holy cow, O'Brien is really something. 3-6-3 double play. And at the end of 5.5, it's the Rangers 5 and the Yankees 2. All right, in the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Incaviglia, Stanley, and Buechele to face Charles Hudson. Incaviglia has walked and flied to right field.
Hudson with his high fastball will give this guy a lot of problems. If he keeps it up around the letters, he'll get a strikeout.
All right.
If he gets it down low, he might put another run up there for the Rangers.
Ball 1. Told you, Incaviglia has struck out 110 times this year. Strike 1-1. Five to 2, the Rangers lead in the bottom of the 6th.
They don't know how to duck. They don't know how to duck. He stood there.
He almost got hit with that.
Toronto leading Minnesota now 7-3 after 7. That ball game being played in Minnesota.
Strike 2, good slider, 2-2. So the Yankees in danger of dropping a game to both Toronto and Detroit tonight, unless they come back. Still 3 big innings to do it. Got him. Strikeout number 111 for Incaviglia. And Hudson has 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts.
In defense of Incaviglia, Scooter, he's playing with a really sore elbow. It might slow the bat down just a little bit.
Okay. Mike Stanley has popped to first, fly to left.
Run the scores down while Stanley takes his time getting in. Chicago beat Cleveland 6-3. Baltimore over Kansas City 11-7. Boston 5, Oakland 3. All those are finals.
Strike 1.
In the National League, the final, San Diego over St. Louis 4-3. Giants beat the Cubs 9-2. Cincinnati beat the Mets 7-3. Those are finals.
Good breaking pitch. Strike 2. Got him. Another strikeout for Hudson.
That's his 5th, isn't it?
Yep.
And he hasn't walked any. Yeah, he walked one.
Yeah, he walked one.
Of course, the big pitch to hurt him, the pitch that Sierra hit out for a 3-run home run.
And when he lost Brown, as you mentioned, he was ahead of him and then tried to nibble instead of firing that fastball. Strike 1 to Buechele, who has flied to left and struck out. Foul back. 1-1. Make that 0-2. 0-2 on Buechele. Ground ball to second, and Zavella, nice play on a short hop. 3 up, 3 down. So on the Dodge scoreboard at the end of 6, it's Texas 5 and the Yankees 2, and we are now going to pause for station identification. All right, we get ready now for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Yankees trailing by 3 and ready to carry you along again. Bill White and Billy the Kid.
All right, Scooter, and Mike Easler will lead off here against Jose Guzman. It's 5-2, favor the Rangers. Easler's been up twice, bounced back to the mound both times. He'll be followed by Mike Palliarolo, then Mark Salas. Both Yankee runs, home runs, back-to-back. Mattingly hitting his 18th home run of the year. And he now has hit home runs in 8 straight games, tying Dale Long. And then Claudell Washington followed with a drive to center field. That tied it at 2, but the Rangers picked up 3 in the top of the 5th. A 3-run home run by Ruben Sierra, his 13th. Count as a strike on Mike Easler. Base hit, Easler. Well, no doubt about that one, and that might get the Ranger bullpen up again, Billy.
I think it's about time they work something down there. Valentine's talking to somebody right now. I guess they do. Oh, yeah, they're getting up. You're right, Bill. They're making their move. Left-hander, naturally.
That's at Kilgus. We saw him yesterday. And also a right-hander, number 40, and that's Jeff Russell. Here's Mike Palliarolo, who's bounced out and doubled. Strike 1.
Oh, he had a good cut at that.
That's low. It's a ball and a strike on Palliarolo. Another final in the National League. Montreal edged Atlanta 3-2. So the Expos pick up a game on the Cardinals. They're now 7 back. Has trouble hitting that ball down and in.
Boy, he does. A little late with the swing, too. He almost lost the bat.
A ball and 2 strikes on Mike Pagliarulo. On the ground, good play by Brown. They get the force, and they will not get 2. Excellent play by Jerry Brown, the second baseman, getting the force at second base.
That's where speed comes in handy right there, Bill. He just outran that ball.
Boy, he sure did. He was really moving at top speed. This is an outstanding play.
Pagliarulo pulling the ball instead of going the other way.
Yeah.
He had doubled the left field his last time up. This time he tries to pull it. Excellent play by Brown. They almost turned the double play.
Artificial turf, that might have been a double.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Here's Mark Salas taking the pitch low. Salas has bounced to first, line the first, 0 for 2.
You think they'll ever put an Astro behind a guy's batting average when he hits on artificial turf
No.
for a full season?
Nope.
A 1-1.
They ought to.
Yes, they should.
With Pagliarulo at second base in the 4, Salas line to O'Brien, who doubled Pags up at second. Really changed the game, that artificial surface.
Oh, yes.
About 30 points in your batting average.
Straight away center field. And caught by Brower. And Pags will have to go back to first base. 2 outs.
I think Joe DiMaggio would have got mad if he'd have saw that catch right there, because he tried to make an easy out look like it was a sensational play.
He did. He caught it well before the wall.
Could have gotten there, pounded the glove, and caught it.
Yep.
Joe D would have took 2 steps in.
Oh, with 2 outs and a runner at first base, here's Paul Zuvella. Zuvella's 0 for 2. He's bounced out, struck out. Rangers 5, Yankees 2, top half of the 7th inning. Out of play.
You know, that 24 players really hurts a lot of managers. I think Lou right now would probably like to have another catcher, another left-handed hitter on the bench, you know. And I hope that the owners or general managers go back to that 25-man roster. I think there's a need for it.
They're going to go to 23.
Are they?
Huh?
Let's go back to college baseball then.
I'll bet you with expansion they'll go to 23.
No kidding.
If they expand. The National League is talking about expanding by 1990. Down the right side, long run for Sierra. He'll get there in foul ground and misses the ball.
Dropped it. Oh, he thought he had that easily. I don't know whether the bullpen guys warming up bothered him.
No, I think they ought to strap a little mustard on him. That was a little hot dog play. Strap some mustard on that hot dog. He tried to nonchalant and look real cool. He had a 3-run homer. He's going to be cool out there now. Instead of going and play the game and catch the ball and do the defensive job he should be doing. That's an easy out.
Oh, yeah, he took his eye off it that time.
Thank you.
They did not give Sierra an error. It's a no play. Those counts still no balls, 2 strikes on Zuvella. And that's a waste pitch, 1-2.
Well, there's some teams out there, some cities, I should say, that can support Major League Baseball, and I hope they do expand to them. Denver, for one.
Oh, yeah.
Out of play down the right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Zuvella with Salas at first and 2 outs.
They got
Pagliarulo at first and 2 outs.
Tampa down in Florida.
Tampa, St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Yep, both those areas. Good baseball fans down there.
Buffalo, you know, it's kind of close to Toronto.
You going to buy the franchise in Buffalo?
I'd like to, except if you get expansion, you're going to have a 400 hitter come along.
Zuvella down on strikes. That'll retire the sides. No run, a base hit, and a man left on base. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Rangers 5, Yankees 2. Jerry Brown will lead off here for the Rangers in the bottom of the 7th. He's been a pesky Ranger against the Yankees. He doubled and stole third, scored the first Ranger run in the 3rd inning, walked and scored ahead of Sierra on his 3-run home run in the 5th, and it's a strike on Brown.
Well, that's where the pitching right there, Bill. Jam him inside. Don't get the ball out of the plate where he can slap at the ball.
And there's no sense going 3-2 on him. Make him hit the ball someplace.
That's exactly right.
Went 3-2 on Brown last time up, walked him. That set up that big inning for the Rangers.
He's a punch and Judy hitter, and you can knock the bat out of his hands, and the last thing you want to do is give him a walk.
That's out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brown. Well, last night, Roden jackknifed him out of there. Just moved him back off the plate because he dives in on the ball, then struck him out inside.
That's the way to pitch him. He's not a strong man. You know, he's a little slap hitter. He likes the ball high out of the plate where he can go the other way. Anything down away from him, he'll go the other way too. Anything down in, you're going to just jam him. There's a ball in on him.
Got to get it up a little higher.
A little higher.
2-2 on Brown.
I agree with you on that pitch.
Popped up. Ricky Henderson in left field.
And that ball was in on him also, Bill. He just can't handle it. Tries to fight it off.
I guess this game is easy up here, but you know, it's amazing that the players today, they have the advantage of looking at tapes of what they do, yet I think you see the same mistakes continue to be made.
Well, Bill, I think down on the bench you see the same things as managers and coaches, but it's hard to get the message across to them. They just don't, they want to keep fighting, and we're not seeing anything different up there, not seeing down there. They just don't want to change.
Here's Bob Brower, and he takes the strike. Brower's fly to center field, single to center, drove in a run and scored, and single to right and scored. He's 2 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes on Brower. Rangers 5, Yankees 2. They have 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The Yankees 2 runs on 7 base hits, have also played errorless baseball. The big hit so far for the Rangers, Ruben Sierra's 13th home run of Charles Hudson in the 5th inning. 2 men were on. Brower down on strikes. That's a 6th strikeout for Hudson. And there are 2 outs.
See, now Brower went after a bad ball there, which is a real bad pitch. Good pitch by Hudson, but the time when it hurt us, he got a two strike, no ball count on him, and he got a fastball or whatever it was, or an off-speed curveball by Rasmussen, was out over the plate, and boom, hit a single on a 2 strike, no ball. That kind of makes you a little bit mad.
Scott Fletcher's walked, doubled in a run, and struck out. He's 1 for 2.
I know Rasmussen didn't want to throw it for a strike, probably trying to make it bad, but it got up in the strike zone.
Out of play. Dennis Rasmussen started the game for the Yankees. He went 2 1/3 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. Struck out 2, walked 2. So Charles Hudson is the pitcher of record so far in this ball game for the Yankees. Unless they come back, he stands to lose. And of course, Jose Guzman has gone all the way for the Rangers so far. Straightaway center field. Claudell Washington backpedaling for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 7. The Yankees 5. Check that. The Rangers 5. The Yankees 2. Well, the Rangers have a 5-2 lead playing in the 8th inning. And Wayne Tollison, Ricky Henderson, and Gary Ward will face Jose Guzman, who's had just the 1 bad inning, the 4th, when he gave up back-to-back home runs to Don Mattingly and Claudell Washington. Here's Wayne Tollison, 2 for 2 against his former teammates. Single to left, single to center. Well, Detroit beat Seattle 10-6. That's a final. Seattle at 1 point led that game 6-1 in the 3rd inning. They're in the 9th inning, and Toronto leading Minnesota 7-4. Strike 1 on Tollison. So the Yankees are in danger of losing a full game both to the Toronto Blue Jays, who are in 2nd place, and the Detroit Tigers, We're 5 back in third.
The 6th largest crowd ever at Arlington Stadium. Total for 40.
No balls, 2 strikes on Wayne Tallis.
5,982. 1095.
1 and 2. Attendance tonight, Scooter, 41,871. That's the 6th largest crowd in Ranger history.
And all those seats are taken out there now in center field.
Second largest crowd this season.
Yeah, I'm surprised they let him move in there like that.
I guess once the sun went down, they let him sit out there, but it's still a bad background for the
It
hitters.
sure- It is, Bill.
Didn't they used to do that in October at the Yankees when they played in the series? Be tough to see, huh?
Oh, and Red Ruffing used to pitch every Sunday when
George White
day ball and come overhand right out of the crowd, right out of the white shirts.
George White should take the mat down on double headers on
Yes,
Sunday.
right. Oh, man.
And we'd say, well, we can't see the bosses. Either can the other team. So if you had 1 for 8, you had a good series.
Loop to left field, and right there's Incaviglia. They're playing him in shallow near the line, and that's the first out in the 8th inning.
You could see the fastball, Bill, but you couldn't see the rotation of the breaking ball.
Or change-ups.
Or change up. Then you had the shadows and the sunlight there. And even then, we all tried those yellow glasses and things to pick up the ball, and they didn't have the large glasses, you know, where you can your eyes wouldn't see the rim, and it was difficult to wear.
Well, Ricky Henderson's been held hitless so far. He's 0 for 2. Lines one base hit to left. Henderson now has hit in 10 straight games. So Henderson, although he's hit under 300 since he got off the disabled list, still has a 10-game hitting streak going.
Well, I tell you something, if Ward gets on, they're not going to let Guzman pitch to Mattingly, that's for sure. They got that bullpen again.
The way Mattingly's hitting, I don't think it makes any difference whether the guy's left-handed or right-handed.
No, that's true, but
I don't think if he cares if the arm came out of the middle of his chest. He's still going to hit him.
Is that
Mitch Williams?
Yeah,
he's tough on left-handers normally.
Do you know that the first organized game of baseball was played in 1846?
Where at?
He was there. As Gary Ward takes the strike.
You had to say that, Martin. I'm just giving you a little bit of history. And
it was in New Jersey.
They were macho. No, it wasn't. They were macho men then, and nobody wore gloves. They played barehanded.
Wasn't baseball supposed to be invented up in the Adirondack someplace? The first game?
Wait a minute.
You're going to bring up these items now. You're going to have to back it up.
You're right.
Well, they got him played perfectly. Brower's right there.
Wow.
And Gary Ward is out number 2.
Oh, here comes at Valentine. I bet he comes out.
You still haven't told me where that game was played back in the 1800s.
I'm checking it out.
It's in New Jersey, Phil. Really?
Yeah.
Here's Don Mattingly. Mattingly 2 for 3. Including his 18th home run, and he has now hit home runs in 8 straight games, and that ties Dale Long's record.
You know, there was a sign down there a little while ago.
Here's Valentine.
I know it. He's not going to let him. Remember when he brought Williams in to pitch to one batter? They were trailing 8-2. Yep, he wants him.
And now you can read that magazine.
Okay.
Tell us where it was at.
So Mitch Williams coming on, and while the pitching change is being made, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message. Williams pitching to Mattingly, runner at first, 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th inning. The first pitch is over for strike. Well, Valentine brought Williams in last night with the Yankees leading that ball game 8-4, and he struck out Palirulo for the final out in the 9th inning. He almost got Henderson leading.
Look, you see Williams did a dance out there. He thought he had him.
This is Williams' 47th relief appearance. He's won 5 games, lost 3, has just 1 save.
Ricky should never got picked off there. He's not going anywhere when he's 3 runs down.
They use Williams here. He's pitched, he's been out 47 times. He's only thrown 53 innings, 53 and a third, so they bring him in to just face normally one batter or pitch one inning. Two balls and a strike on Mattingly. That's clear of the Yankee dugout.
Ooh.
Just missed Dave Winfield. Obviously, Winfield will pick up a bat either for probably Easler or...
It hit Lou?
Wouldn't dare. I think Lou's steaming over there.
Now you wonder why Valentine wouldn't be playing the first baseman up behind him.
Yeah.
2 strikes, 2 outs.
Whoa.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Don Mattingly.
Ground ball goes through. Now he's playing him back. Everybody does that.
They got a right-hander loosening up down there. As you mentioned, Winfield's got a bat. Should he walk Mattingly, Winfield come up.
Just fouled back. Still 3-2. Rangers 5, Yankees 2, 8th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Don Mattingly. Winfield might be sent up to hit for Claudell Washington. Wonder if that Pohorsic has been up long enough to... he must be. He's watching the action.
Watching the action.
3-2 pitch. Drill to right field. That ball is caught. Sierra with a fine play in right field, robbing Mattingly of at least a double, and that'll retire the side. No runs, a base hit. 1 man left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. The Rangers 5, the Yankees 2. Well, we understand the attendance of 41,871 is not the 6th largest crowd in Ranger history, but it's the 4th largest, whatever that means. But we'll set the record straight. What about that first ball game?
Yeah, well, those Huckleberries don't say where it was played, but they didn't use gloves. And then one guy was, he used to drive buggies, so he put on a gentleman's glove, you know, the kind you wear for dress, and they booed him. So he stopped wearing that.
Any names in there? As we look here at Ruben Sierra, who made that fine catch on Mattingly. He's also responsible for the Rangers' 3-run lead with a 3-run home run in the 5th inning.
I knew it. Listen to this. The guy who put that flesh-colored glove on and got booed played with the St. Louis Cardinals. Can you believe it? First sissy to wear a glove.
Must have been pretty smart. Everybody's wearing them now.
See that? Well, yes.
He must have been ahead of his time.
All right, okay.
All right, okay.
You got me there.
It's a ball and a strike on Sierra.
His own teammates got on him.
There's a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Who was playing?
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Not in the first game ever played.
No. No. This was when the first glove. Before that, nobody wore a glove until 1869.
We're getting a lesson in history here.
Yes, 18. Then, by the late 1870s, Al Spaulding started making and selling fielders' gloves because they were seeking protection.
Struck him out with a fastball after throwing the curveball. 1 down in the 8th inning. That's strikeout number 7 for Charles Hudson.
When did the Wilson boys come in?
Wait a minute, they're coming. Then, in 1880, you know, they used to throw underhand at first in baseball. You don't realize that, right?
No.
Okay.
This is Larry Parrish, and he'll back out.
Then they started to throw overhand in 1880. So then the catchers said, we got to have gloves or we're not going to catch. So they made a catch, that full thing with no pocket.
Catcher's mitt?
Catcher's mitt, yes.
Have you yet found the city?
No, I can't believe it. And it wasn't until 1895 that everybody wore gloves. Infielders, outfielders, catchers, and pitchers. How do you like that?
Meanwhile, back here in 1987.
1 ball, 1 strike on Larry Parrish.
how quickly we come back to 1987 from 1895.
Do you remember the year we keep, that's a ball, 2-1. We keep talking about the year that they stopped you from leaving your glove out on the field. Do you remember that
No,
year? I can't.
I don't remember it exactly. We should.
It had to be around, what, 55 or so, 56, 57, somewhere in that area?
It was earlier than that.
Earlier than that, okay. That'll be backing out of play, 2-2 on Parrish.
At least I say it's earlier than that.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'll take the 5th.
No, wait a minute. When was your first year?
56.
Were they doing it then?
I think so, but I'm not sure. And Parrish caught looking. Third time he struck out, and that's strikeout number 8 for Charles Hudson.
I think it was 53.
Could very well be.
Ought to ask Dr. Brown. He's here tonight. You see your buddy?
He is here.
Still has a home here. He's on his way back to New York. Pete O'Brien, 0 for 3. Takes high, ball 1.
You think he might have gotten a few patients? Picked up a few pesos while he was back in Texas, his old practice of being a doctor?
Base hit O'Brien. Let's see if War will cut it off. O'Brien's going to try for 2, and he will make it. O'Brien, a 2-out double down the right field line in the 8th inning.
Starting to swing that bat.
That should take him up to about, 286, 287. We first saw him early in the year. He was way down.
It's a good hitter, Bill. I think he can do it all out there. Good hitter, good feeler.
I've seen the double plays he started here tonight. Pete Incaviglia is 0 for 2. He's walked, he's flied to right field and struck out. Rangers lead 5-3 in the 8th. Looking ahead for the Yankees in the 9th inning, they'll have Washington, Easler, and Palirulo. They're 4, 5, and 6 hitters up, and of course, Dave Winfield sitting in the wings. That's a ball.
What do they figure if Pete keeps swinging the way he is, how many strikeouts he's going to have at the end of the year?
Over 200.
That's a lot.
Going to be a lot of strikeouts this year. Jackson, Incaviglia, Buechele, Presley, Canseco. And that's a base hit for Incaviglia. They're going to try Henderson, and he bobbles the ball. And the Rangers now lead 6-2.
He would have had a good shot at him, but the ball was hit so hard he spun right out of his glove.
He charged the ball, trying to make the play.
Yep, he got to it quickly. Yep, couldn't pick it up.
Did he keep his eye on it?
I didn't quite see.
Here's Mike Stanley. He's fouled out twice and struck out, 0 for 3.
You got a tendency to look at the runner, see how close he is to third.
Of course, Pete got the pitch he likes, a fastball up out over the plate. He just drilled it.
Broken bat, base hit. And Incaviglia will hold at second base.
Up, here comes Sweet Lou.
Well, he's got Rich Bordy throwing out there in the Yankee bullpen. Steve Buechele is due up. Hudson has gotten him on a strikeout and a bounce out. Let's see what Piniella wants here. He hasn't made the move for Bordy yet, but he's looking out there. Looks like he wants him.
Yep.
So Rich Bordy will come on, and while the pitching change is being made, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following message.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee Baseball are Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Pepsi-Cola, makers of Diet Pepsi, Slice, Mountain Dew, and Pepsi Free. The New York Daily News, New York's hometown paper. Con Edison, the energy of New York, and by the New York Yankees.
And here's Buechele against Bordy in the 8th inning. Runners at first and second for the Rangers, and 2 outs. They lead 6-2. Out of play.
Bordy's a slider, fastball pitcher. You know, got to keep the ball down. He doesn't have an overpowering fastball, so he's got to keep it around the knees.
But before he hurt his arm, he was doing some job for the Yankees and then for Baltimore for a while, and then had some arm miseries.
Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Buechele.
That's his best pitch right there, Bill. He's got to come back with that slider again because Buechele cannot hit that pitch.
You guys are too young to remember Harry and Raleigh Latina of Rawlings when they entered the picture.
No, we remember Harry and Raleigh Latina.
Oh, you would from St. Louis, yes. Because Rawlings was out there, but they were great. They
did a very good job in construction of gloves.
That's right.
Making different models. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Buechele. He has flied to left, struck out, and bounced out. 0 for 3 in the game. That'll fall, base hit. Got it out over the plate. And Cavilla will score, and the Rangers now lead 7-2.
That ball was up out over the plate. He hit a mistake.
So Steve Buechele has just driven in his 30th run, and the Rangers have runners at first and third with 2 outs, and Jerry Brown is the batter. That run will be charged to Charles Hudson. And should Stanley score, that also would be charged to Hudson. So Hudson has been touched up for 5 runs so far in this game. Strike 1. Brown has doubled, stolen a base, and scored. He's walked and scored and flied to left field. One and one.
Jerry has a lot of tools. I don't think he's got it all put together yet, but he's got speed. He's got good range. Looks like he's going to be a decent hitter at the plate.
That curves a strike. 1 and 2.
Kind of dives into the ball. I think if they came inside and knocked him down a little bit, he wouldn't dive in so much.
That's what White was talking about before.
Don't blame me.
I'm not blaming. Hey, Martin, if you don't stop kicking the back of my chair, I got a headache now. Who's doing it? White?
Struck him out with a breaking ball. That'll retire the side. But the Rangers pick up 2 more runs. On 4 hits, they leave 2. And at the end of 8, the Rangers 7, the Yankees 2.
Well, it looks like they are going to use the pinch hitters this inning. And Henry Carter's going to bat for Claudel.
Well, there's Cotto. He's done a good job this year in limited appearances. He's only been up 80 times, but he has 22 base hits. 5 home runs and 15 runs batted in. He's batting .275 for the Yankees. Henry Cotto batting for Claudel, Washington. Rangers are leading by 5 here in the 9th inning, and it's a strike. Mitch Williams on the mound. He came on to pitch to Mattingly, and Ruben Sierra made a fine play, robbing Mattingly of a double, at least, and retiring the side in the 8th inning, and it's 1 and 1 on Cotto. That's low and in, 2 balls and a strike. Detroit beat Seattle 10-6. That's a final now. Toronto beat Minnesota 7-3. That's another final. So the Yankees should not, they get something going here. As Cotto went after a bad pitch out of the strike zone, will lose a game to the Blue Jays and a game to the Tigers. Yankees would be 57-35, 22 over. Toronto 52-38. And the Tigers, let's see, Toronto 53-37 rather, and the Tigers 51-37. That's ball 4. Williams loses Cotto. Never can tell in this game. Yankees are down 5. Easler will hit for Easler.
All right, Bill, and while Easler's coming up and have a little huddle there, a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and WPIX, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment thereof without the express written consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited.
Oh, Mike Easler in the game has singled in 3 trips. Ball 1. Williams with that herky-jerky. That's Dale Mahorsic out there warming up. He's a sinker balling right-hander. But Williams can be wild.
I'll tell you, he was lucky. He came in to work to just Mattingly, and Mattingly almost pinned Sierra against the right field wall with a bullet line drive.
In his 53 innings, he has struck out 66. As Tom House, the pitching coach, will go out now. He will join Fletcher out on the mound. We mentioned that Williams had struck out 66, but he had also walked 49. He has a record similar to that youngster we saw yesterday, Bobby Witt.
Yep.
Witt with 62 strikeouts and 63 walks in 60 innings.
Yep. Not too good.
Count is 2 balls, no strikes on Easler. He'll probably take this one. And ball 3. Three and 1. This one will be taken 2. Easler will make Williams wait. Out 3 and 2.
The percentages against him throwing 3 strikes in a row.
Why?
His record proves that. See that?
You're right. Ball 4.
Right.
I don't think he's going to allow him to walk too many more.
No, but you see what they had been able to hold him in the bottom of the 8th. The potential tying run would be at home plate. Here comes Valentine. That's going to be all for Williams.
Well, he's got to go with the right-hander to pitch to Palirulo, which is a big plus for Pags.
Yep, it is a right-hander. You're right.
And they can get down to let Salas hit also and use Winfield down there for Zavella or Tollison, depending upon the situation.
You're right. You never can tell in this kind of game.
Well, Williams will leave after walking the first 2 men here in the 9th inning, and he gives way to Dale Mahorsic, who pitched the 8th inning last night and pitched to 2 men in the 9th. He's a sinker baller.
Boy, he's got good control. In 73 and a third innings, he's only walked 16. Struck out 35. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, but
well, he gets a ground ball, and here I'm sure Valentine wants a ground ball from Palirulo to try to get the double play. They honored Mahorsik. He's from the Cleveland area. They honored him there, spelled his name wrong on the board.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
That's a tough name to spell, though.
It is.
So Mahorsik pitching to Palirulo with runners at first and second and nobody out in the 9th inning, and the Rangers leading by a score 7-2 over the Yankees. And that's a strike. He'll keep the ball down around the knees. M-O-H-O-R-C-I-C.
The Yankee bench getting on plate umpire. Lou Piniella was yelling.
No balls, 2 strikes on Palirulo. Down the left field line, foul. It'll be out of play. Well, at least they're letting Piniella yell.
Yeah. Without throwing him out.
They've tried to stop that.
There's sweet Lou.
Still no balls and 2 strikes on Pags. And Mahorsik keeps the ball away, and Pags fouls it back. At least he's trying to go to left field instead of pull that ball that's away. Cotto down at second base. Eastler on at first. There are no outs here in the 9th inning. Yankees trying to battle back in this ball game. They've seen on the scoreboard that the Tigers have beaten Seattle, and the Blue Jays have beaten the Minnesota Twins. Pulls this one. That'll get the runners over, and O'Brien will make the sure play at first base. And there's 1 out. Cotto goes to third, Eastler down to second base, and Mark Salas will be the batter. Well, there's no way they're going to let Zavella bat.
No.
He's wasting his time going into the on-deck circle.
O'Brien's had a busy night tonight. He's had 3 unassisted ground ball putouts. He's had 2 double plays, 3-6-3.
That's low and in, ball 1. Now Dave Winfield switches places with Zavella. 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes on Mark Salas. Trying to look here, Scooter. I think Morocco, Cerrone, and Winfield.
That's it?
I believe so. Oh, yeah, I believe that's it. Struck him out on a sinker down and away. And there are 2 outs. Salas seems lost so far.
He really does.
He's hit a couple of home runs, but he just has not gotten the stroke that he had at Minnesota. Well, Dave Winfield will bat. Two on, 2 out here in the 9th inning. The Rangers are leading by 5. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Rangers. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the New York Yankees. And Winfield takes a strike. Another final now in the National League. The Phillies beat Houston 4-2. So only 3 games going, including this one. Pittsburgh at L.A. 2-2 in the 5th. In the center field, and this one should be over. Brower's there, and that'll do it. Yankees in the 9th inning, no runs, and 2 men left on base. And the final score, the Texas Rangers 7 and the Yankees 2.
Well,
Well, Scooter, the Yankees missed a good chance to maintain their 4-game lead here, but the home run by Ruben Sierra in the 5th inning, that really sunk Charlie Hudson and sunk the Yankees.
It really did. He really creamed at that time. Looked like the Yankees were going to bounce back after Mattingly tied the record in the major leagues, tied Dale Long's record for hitting home runs in 8 consecutive ball games. And then on the very next pitch, Claudell Washington homered in the center field. But look at it. I can't believe this. You think they're playing hockey out there. They're congratulating each other.
Well, I guess they call that togetherness, or either that or when you don't win too often, when you do win, you do this. It looks nice, I guess, for the fans. But they did win the ball game. They've taken the lead in the season series now with the Yankees also, 6 games to 5. So I'm sure they're happy about that. But the final, once again, the Rangers, 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Yankees, 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors.
All right, White, and that's it from Arlington Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Remember to tune in this coming Tuesday night at 8 p.m. when the New York Yankees meet the Minnesota Twins right here along the Yankee Baseball Network.